Hello everyone, welcome to CCA live webinar. Today is 16th of April 2026. Uh, First of all, I'm really sorry this webinar was scheduled for yesterday, but we have to reschedule it for today due to some technical issues. Thanks for your patience and support. In today's webinar, I am going to discuss various employer sponsor visas category, what is the eligibility criteria and requirements for employer sponsorship. Myself, Harmeet Saini, a CCA registered migration agent. If you are planning to live and work in Australia, then this webinar is very helpful for you. So let's begin. Let me upload for some slides for you first, and then I will start. Okay, let's begin with employer sponsor visa. What is employer sponsorship? So employer sponsorship, it enables eligible Australian employers to recruit overseas worker for the roles for which suitable Australian citizens, permanent residents are not available. Means employer has to do some labor market testing as well before recruiting someone from overseas or temporary visa holders. So this is the main requirements from the sponsor who going to sponsor someone for the roles in their organizations for overseas staffs. So main visas category under this employer sponsor visas are, there are mainly 4 sort of visas available in Australia, out of which the main visas are subclass 482, subclass 494, subclass 407 and subclass 186. Out of these 4 visas, 482, 494 and 407 are temporary visas. However, 186 is the permanent visa of Australia. You can apply this permanent visa from overseas or while living or studying in Australia as well. So there are some basic eligibility criteria to meet these visa subclasses. So I am going to discuss one by one. So subclass 482 is called skill in demand visa in Australia. It has 3 type of stream. One is core skill stream, specialist stream and labor agreement stream. And similarly, another temporary visa is 494. As the name suggests, this visa is a skill employer sponsored regional provisional visa. It means employer has to be located in the regional area of Australia. And for subclass 407 is a training visa, and this is a visa is granted for up to 2 years for the eligible applicant to enhance their skills. Basically, that's why its name is training visa, and the training has to be supervised. And subclass 186, it also have 2 streams. One is direct entry streams, and another is TRT transition streams. So both of the streams have different requirements. So I am going to discuss one by one. Let's begin with first visa subclass 482. So this visa, skill in demand subclass 482 visa, it has mainly 3 stages. Whatever stream it is, either it is under specialist stream or core skill stream or labor agreement stream or under DAMA stream. So main requirements are, first of all, SBS, or if it is under DAMA, then it is called labor agreement. So under SBS, which is a standard business sponsorship, so every business have to lodge this sponsorship application first. And SBS is basically an application from the employer. So they are legally operating in Australia and need to nominate workers in Australia. uh, under labor agreement, so they don't have to go for SBS, they have to go for the labor agreement, but requirements are almost same. In some DAMA uh, reasons, if employer going to sponsor you for this 482 visa under DAMA scheme, then before labor agreement they have to go for DAR approval. They have to apply with the local council, have to do labor market testing and apply for the DAR first, then they go for labor agreement and nomination and visa stage. So basically up to this stage, employer have to have their approval first. Even if employer sponsorship is not approved and your visa going to expire soon, so still you can lodge your nomination and visa after lodging the sponsorship application. So we can do all together one by one, but it's always recommended if sponsorship is already approved, so then it's always been better. So after sponsorship, second stage come up with the nomination, which is very crucial stage of this visa subclass, and I can say that it is the backbone of this visa subclass. So on the nomination stage, labor market testing has to be conducted by the employer, and for the occupation has to be allocated from the skill occupation list. There is a special skill occupation list especially for subclass 482, and that also eligible for another 186 category as well. So that's the same occupation list. So occupation must be from that list. Could be excluded in some cases. For example, if going to specialist stream or something else, so or under labor agreement, then it could be out of this occupation list, but mainly have to follow for the core skill stream, the skill occupation list. And employer also have to prove their financial capacity to nominate the worker, and the most important thing is the Smith's requirement they have to meet, and nowadays it is about $76,515 per year, but going to increase from July onwards, and it's they're going to increase nearby $79,499 from 1st of July 2026. So after lodging nomination application, the next stage is visa application by the applicant. So these first two stages, SBS and nomination, are done by the employer, and third stage, visa application, has to be done by the applicant. There are some eligibility criteria for this visa subclass, out of which the mandatory one, the English requirements and work experience. So applicant must have minimum 5 each or equivalent, IELTS equivalent, or if you're going to conduct a PTE test, and in that case the listening requirement is 33, reading 36, writing 29 and speaking 24. And work experience, you must have at least 1 year of work experience before lodging this visa application, which is quite mandatory. But the good thing is work experience can be counted before your qualification. Means while you're studying or you are on another visa, while getting that work experience, either you're working part-time or full-time, so all that counted. So you must have full-time equivalent 1 year of work experience, or on the pro rata basis if you're working part-time. In simple word, I can explain to you, for example, if you're working part-time, you was on student visa, you worked in a particular occupation. In that case, to claim 1 year of work experience, you have to work 2 years, simple as that. And you must have relevant qualification as well. The qualification could be certificate level, certificate 3, certificate 4, diploma, bachelor's or higher. And sometime if you have enough work experience, that experience may substitute the qualification requirements as well. So this is the beauty of this subclass 482 visa. And if we talk about the labor market testing, which is quite important for this visa subclass, during labor market testing, which is the nomination stage, so employer has to publish 2 sort of advertisement, and each advertisement must be live for minimum of 28 consecutive days and have to lodge a visa application within 4 months of that advertisement and labor market testing. Some employer does some mistake sometime, like they post advertisement for 14 days which is free of cost on most of the websites, and when it expired then again continue it for another 14 days, and that's how they calculate the 28 days, which is not acceptable. It is very careful whenever you're going for these class of visas, so advertisement must be continue for the minimum of 28 days, and each advertisement must have job titles, job responsibilities, skills, qualifications, employer or agency name, and salary range. All this has to be mentioned while advertising a position, and it has to be according to the NGESCO. And after the completion of the advertisement, the employer must assess all the application and justify hiring the nominated or overseas worker over the uh, local Australian citizens and permanent residents. LMT exemptions are there in some circumstances. For example, under international trade obligation, labor agreement, and another specific exemption list, then this labor market testing could be exempted. Now let's come to next visa category, subclass 186. So this is the next stage from after subclass visa 482. It is a permanent visa. It is a permanent residency visa of Australia. So as I mentioned, this visa having two streams, TRT streams and direct entry stream. Let's first discuss TRT stream. It is temporary resident transition streams. So to apply under this stream, you must hold subclass 482, or previously the name of this visa subclass was 457. If you ask 457 visa and then shifted on 482 visa, so you must obtain these visas and must work under the same sponsoring employer who going to sponsor for 186, and you have to work on this 482 visa for at least 2 years before applying to subclass 186 under TRT stream. And applicant also meets some other requirements like English and age requirements as well. So you must have minimum competent English, which is 6 each or equivalent, and also the age restriction, you must have age less than 45 years old. Under labor agreement stream, there are some age assumptions as well, that depends upon the labor agreement or within the DAMA areas. And for this visa subclass, again like 482 nomination, employer have to justify the genuine need for the nomination position and financial capacity to employ the nominee, and of course the salary requirement they have to show during the nomination process that they're going to recruit you for subclass 186 by meeting the Smith's requirement. On the second stage, which is subclass direct entry stream, and it is quite popular for a lot of applicants who having wider work experience in their field. So it is a two-stage process. First, nomination from the employer, second, visa from the applicant. So during the nomination stage, in this visa, labor market testing is not mandatory, but it is highly recommended, because when employer going to lodge nomination under direct entry stream, they have to justify the genuine position, have to show the market survey, annual market salary for that particular position, and a lot of these things. So that's why we always recommend to go for labor market testing while applying for subclass 186 visa under direct entry stream. After nomination, the next stage come to the visa application. So major requirements from the applicant to be eligible for this visa subclass. First of all, they must have skill assessment in their nominated occupation, must have 3 years of work experience, and that work experience must be after qualification. Like in 482 visa subclass, you can't claim work experience before qualification. So for this visa subclass, at this permanent stage, if you're applying under direct entry, so your work experience, that must be after your qualification. English requirement, and again mandatory component of this visa subclass, you must have competent English, which is minimum 6 each, or 6 each IELTS or equivalent to another test. Second category of visa, it is a temporary visa, subclass 494. It is skill employer sponsor regional provisional visa. So as the name suggests, regional provisional visa, so it means the employer who going to sponsor you have to be physically located in a regional area of Australia. So it is also having the different stages of another sponsorship visa subclasses. For example, SBS, it is same like 482 visa, so employer must have SBS approval. Second, RCB approval, so which is regional certifying body approval. So the employer has to apply for RCB approval before nomination stage, and during this approval, the employer have to certify that nominated position is genuine and that market salary rate is met, and labor market testing has been undertaken according to the migration law and policies. So after these 2 steps, the next step is nomination for this visa subclass. This nomination stage, again check that labor market testing and genuine position need, and touchment level or annual market level underway. It depends upon whether you're going to apply under labor agreement or normal sponsorship stream. So on the slide it is written 53,900, which is not true at this case. It is the old requirement. So nowadays it is 76,515, and again going to raise in July onwards. So after these 3 stage, SBS, RCB approval, nomination, the last stage is the visa application by the applicant. So again, requirement for this visa subclass, same like subclass 186, is 3 years of work experience is required, skill assessment is required, IELTS 6 is required, age is less than 45 years, and same like 186. Now, the question is, most of the people ask, the subclass 494 is a temporary visa, however 186 is the permanent visa. Why applicant go for 494? Why not they go directly for 186 when they're meeting all these requirements, which are quite similar to 186 visa? Do you have any answer? Let me explain you. So the answer is occupation category, because in subclass 186 the occupation has to be selected from skill occupation list, and there are a lot of occupations which are not included on the skill occupation list, but they are included for the subclass 494. So if you are not eligible according to the list for subclass 186, then you can lose this visa. If you're locating in the regional areas, and then this visa is best for you. This visa is granted for 5 years, but after 3 years you are eligible to transit for the permanent residency pathway in terms of subclass 191 visa. So that's why this visa is also have its own importance over 186. The last employer sponsored visa is a training visa, subclass 407. The visa duration for this visa is maximum 2 years, depends upon the training plan. So this is temporary visa. It's allow individual to undertake occupational training or professional development in Australia. This visa is not having any direct PR pathways, but can support further skill visa application, can support your 482 application, 494, 186 visa applications as well. Because if you are getting training in your nominated occupation, so depends upon your training and your training plan, so it could support you for your further 482, 494 or 186 application as well. There are three types of training available under this visa subclass. So first one is the occupational training for registration or licensing. So this training is a workplace based training required to obtain occupational license or registration in Australia. The second one is occupation training to enhance skills. So for individuals with at least 12 years of work experience, or they have recent study in a particular occupation within last 2 years, then you can apply this visa under occupation training to enhance skills stream. And be careful whenever you apply 407, be careful, just check the occupation list. So your occupation must be on the subclass 407 occupation list as well. So the visa subclass I am describing, so all having their own occupation list. So third category is professional development, which is a classroom based training program designed for overseas professionals and typically designed for government and large corporate companies. So these are three types of occupational training you can get under subclass 407 visa. And like 482 visa, this visa also having various stages like sponsorship, nomination and visa application. Again, a three-stage process. The sponsorship from the employer, it is called temporary activity sponsorship, TAS. So SBS is not applicable in this case. So for training visa, temporary activity sponsorship is required by the business, but it is granted again for the 5 years, same as SBS. So after applying sponsorship application, the second stage is nomination, and the nomination stage is required for each applicant unless that is the sponsor is the Commonwealth government agency. So they have to include a tailored detailed structured training plan in the nomination process, and this training plan specify the needs and role of that occupation based training, and the training must be full time and must be supervised, and also must designed to provide genuine skill development relevant occupation for this visa subclass. So these are the main requirements for sponsorship and nomination. So during sponsorship, the main requirements are employer documents that the company is legally operating in Australia. Nomination stage, they have to specify particular training, tailored training plan, and next stage is visa application. And from March 2026, they made recently changes in the visa subclass. So before going to the third stage on visa application, these two stages, sponsorship and nomination, must be approved. If these are not approved, you can't apply visa. When it is approved, only then you're eligible to apply subclass 407 visa. So these are the recent changes for this visa subclass. And it was announced on 11th of March 2026. So the main requirements for this visa category, the age applicant must be at least 18 years of age and must have functional English, which is equivalent to 4.5, or equivalent. And also if you studied English minimum 2 years overseas or in Australia, so still these English test requirements are waived. It depends upon your qualification and work experience as well in the English speaking countries. This visa is valid for 2 years, could be granted for 1 year or 2 year, depends upon the training plan what the company specified during the nomination stage. And this is a temporary visa, of course, and genuine entrant criteria is applied in this visa subclass. So if case officer thinks that you are not a genuine entrant, you just applying this visa to maintain their stay in Australia, they may refuse this visa on this category as well. And next important thing for the secondary applicant, of course all of these visas you can include your family as well, but in subclass 407 visa your partner can work only for 40 hours per week. So there are work restrictions as well on this visa subclass, especially for the secondary applicant. So these are the all visa subclasses I discussed under the employer sponsor category streams. If you have any question and you're curious about your case and want to know how to move forward, which visa subclass is better for you, and what visa subclass you are eligible for, want to discuss the fee and cost structure of this visa subclass, please do contact us, our nearest office. Our offices are located in our major cities of Australia, or you can email us on info@cca.com.au, or you can call me directly on 0451 369 851. So thank you once again. Thanks for your patience. And again, sorry for yesterday. We can't conduct it on a scheduled time because of technical issues. So thank you so much for your patience and support. And if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to conclude the session now. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening.